Welcome to my trading room. This is US stocks day trading, the best Elliott wave analysis, episode number 7. So today I will take a look at the S&P and maybe a stock like Apple and Tesla. For sure the S&P, I'll see if I take a look also at Apple or Tesla. I will, as always, talk about the Ichimoku count, the Ichimoku indicator, and the Elliott wave count. I'm choosing to talk about US stocks today because I think that we are at an interesting juncture. What happens during the next trading session could determine if we are bullish or bearish, because if we move higher, then it would confirm the bullish count, and the bearish count that would be possible, it's not my favorite count, but it's possible, would be eliminated. So I'm interested in US stocks right now because I'm a trader and I have to decide when I will enter my position. And in order to do that, I will show you Ichimoku and the different time frames and the different possibilities I have, depending on how aggressive I want to be in the market, how soon I want to enter. So we're gonna talk about all that. I'll try to make it short. It should be, I will try to do it in 15 minutes and it should not exceed 20 minutes. So let's see if I can manage to do that. First, as always, let's take a look at my disclaimer so that you are aware that there are risks involved in trading. Here's my disclaimer. The link is in the description, and my risk warning. Please read it so that you are aware about the risk involved in trading. And I briefly talk about my service. I offer live Elliott wave service. You will receive 1 to 3 updates on Bitcoin a day and 1 on US stocks and gold. So mainly you receive Elliott wave updates live, which means you always have the latest count and a screenshot, and under the screenshot, a description of what is happening. You always have that every day. And you can check Telegram, and it will give you the latest wave count and a description of what is happening. That is extremely useful if you are an investor or a trader. It's mainly focused on trading, but the higher time frames will help you a lot if you are an investor. And you can always, once you are a private client of me, you can always ask me to explain stuff to you or to provide you charts you are interested in, different time frames, the weekly or the monthly or the 4 hour. You can always look at the latest count on Bitcoin, US stocks, the S&P, and gold. That service will cost you 20 USD a month. And that's an extreme affordable service, and everybody who is interested in the crypto markets and or stocks or gold should have the latest Elliott wave count. What you get is a valid Elliott wave count, and not just some kid putting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s on charts and ABCs. You get a valid Elliott wave count, which will help you with your investing or trading decisions, and it's extremely useful. So I highly recommend it. If you choose cryptos, it's cheaper. If you choose PayPal as a means of payment, then it's a little more expensive. And I also offer one-on-one coaching. If you have any questions related to cryptos or trading, then let me know, and I'm offering one-on-one coaching. You get your coaching. You get a discount if you are a private client of mine. It's a limited offer. You get a discount on my fees. So in order to do that, you have to be private. You just become a member of my free Telegram group. It's free. And you let me know that you're interested in my service, and I will provide you the instruction on how to become a member. Now, that being said, let's take a look at the S&P. So I want to start with the Ichimoku chart. So S&P is on we'll take a look closely at what I'm telling you now. But S&P should be buttoning in wave 4, and I'm expecting a wave 5 according to its 8 wave count. So I'm expecting a wave 5 up, and I want to take a trade for that 5th wave. I want to enter it quite closely to the bottom of the 4th wave, but not too close, in order so that I don't get into a position too soon. But I don't want to take too much time, because I have to exit at the top of wave 5, and that will be coming soon. So since right now, if my 8 wave count is correct, we are bottoming in wave 4. So I have to choose between different time frames. I like on very volatile markets, I like the 3-hour time frame. And right now I have put my entry, and that is an order that I gave the market above the Kijun and the Tenkan and the super trend. Above, a little above, I have put an entry. So I have put an entry at 4,563.56. But I think I will even enter sooner than that. That's a good place, because once that we are above that level, it is bullish again, or close to bullish. Not 100% bullish, because you need the Tenkan has to go above the Kijun, which is not the case for now. So we are not 100% bullish, but we are close to bullish once we are above that level. Since that's the level of where, if you take a short trade, that's the level where your short trade would get invalidated. So that's an important level, the 4,563. It's an important level according to Ichimoku. But if I want to be more aggressive than that, I would go down to the 2-hour chart. And on the 2-hour chart, as you see, you would, well, it would not give you much difference, because you cannot enter any sooner. Because even if you are above, you're still in the cloud, and in the cloud, you should not take any trade. So the 2-hour chart would not allow you to enter any sooner. So let's take a look at the 1-hour chart. The 1-hour chart is a little better, since the cloud is a little lower, and it is possible that you get an entry, but it would be around the same level as on the 3-hour chart. So it would be around, it is probable that it would be around the 4,563 level. It's probable, maybe even a little higher. So it would not allow you to enter much sooner. Now we can go to the 30-minute chart and see here the cloud is much lower. So here you could get an entry sooner, but the Kumo cloud is still red, and it has to turn green in order to enter. So you still have to wait. You still have to wait a little until you get an entry. So even if you get an entry, it would not be much below the 4,563. So every chart we look at until now, even the 30-minute chart, points into the direction of the 4,563. And that would be quite a safe entry place, since once we are at that level, it is probable that the 30-minute chart would be bullish, and it's probable, and you would be close even on the 1-hour chart to get an entry. But at least the 30-minute chart would probably be close to an entry point. But if you go even lower to the 50-minute chart, which I rarely do, but I might in this case, I might do it. Here, we already tried to break out of the Kumo cloud. But we couldn't close above the Kumo cloud. We dropped back into it. So right now we do not have an entry. But if tomorrow, if on the next trading session, we close above the Kumo cloud, then it is possible that we would get an entry. Let's check if all the conditions are fulfilled. So the first condition you need is a break of the cloud, and that could happen anywhere here. You could have the break of the cloud. The second condition you need is that the future Kumo is green, and that's the case right now, as you can see. Then the Chico must be free of price, and here the Chico is free of price, and above it would be free of price too. And the last thing is that the Tenkan is above the Kichuin, and that price is above both of them. So here the price is right now below the Tenkan, but if we move out of the cloud, then we would, then the Tenkan and the Kichuin condition would be fulfilled. And the last thing we have to look at is the Elliott wave. Elliott wave is my last condition, but poorly Ichimoku, once we are above here, once we have a candle here, then you take the ninth hive, the hive of the night candle, and you put your entry. So if I go down to the 50-minute chart, I would get the soonest possible entry for my trade, and my stop loss would be quite close to price, since it should be below the Kichuin. It should be here. So the only thing is that well, the thing with that entry is that if price does not move up straight, my stop loss is very close, would be very close to price, since it would be a little below the Kichuin, and the super trend is above the Kichuin here. So my stop loss would be very close to price. That's the only thing I need to, I must be aware if I take the 50-minute chart. Maybe I will take the 50-minute chart instead of the 3-hour chart level that we talked about. So maybe I will do that. I have to take the decision for my entry. Instead of that level, the 4,563, I could take the 50-minute chart, and then I would get an entry rate below that level, if I want to be very aggressive on the S&P and enter as soon as possible. That the 50-minute chart would be my first possibility to go long. Now let's take a look at the Elliott wave count on the S&P. So here we have the Elliott wave count on the S&P. And as you can see, we had the top of wave 3 up here, and then W, X, and Y. So you had a zigzag down. And the last wave down, and a wave Y, is subdivided into an A, B, C. And here and the wave C subdivides into 5 waves, and it is probable that we had wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and a truncation for wave 5. That is probable. And we could be off to the races, which means we could be accomplishing wave 5 up right now. According strictly to Elliott wave, if you take the Y wave, this is 61% of the Y wave, your entry point here would be the 4,538. That would be your entry point. And if I'm not mistaken, that is very close to the entry point that I had on the 3-hour chart. Let me just take a look at it. Let's go to the 3-hour chart. Here it is 4,563. So it's 63, and here it is 38. So Elliott wave would allow you to enter a little sooner, since 68% is a good level for you to consider that if you are above that level, that will go higher if you retrace that amount. So now my decision that I have to make during the next trading session or this weekend, if price does move up straight, is if I want to wait for the level on the 3-hour chart, the 4,563, for which I already gave an order, or if I want to be even more aggressive and go down to the 50-minute chart. That's what I have to decide during the next session of trading. And that's all I wanted to say, because the thing is that if this is a wave 4, and if we bottomed for wave 4, then we should go higher in wave 5. And I have to exit at the top of wave 5. So I want to be in a big chunk of wave 5, because I want the trade to be as profitable as possible. But I also don't want to take more risk than necessary. Because if we drop below this level, the 4,388, if we drop below that level, that's the top of wave 1. So that's the top of wave 1. And here you have wave 3. And here you have wave 4. And as you know, wave 4 cannot overlap wave 1. So we cannot go below 4,388 if you want to maintain the bullish count. If you go below, then it is actually not wave 3 up here, but it would be an ABC. And we would go lower, since instead of 3 impulse wave, you would have simply an ABC, which makes also 3 waves, and you would have a wave C up here. So the difference between both of them is what will decide if we are bullish or bearish. If we go below the 43,888 level, then I would switch bearish. But if we can manage to go higher and above the 61% retracement of wave Y, if we can go higher than that, then I'm bullish. So now the only thing I have to know is if I want to be prudent and wait for the 3-hour chart to give me a bullish sign, or if I want to be more aggressive and take the entry on the 50-minute chart. That's what I have to decide during the coming 12, or probably during the coming 12 hours. I have to decide if I want to be aggressive and take the 50 minutes Ichimoku entry, or if I wait for the 3-hour Ichimoku entry. That's the dilemma I'm in right now. And I haven't decided 100%, but I will during the coming hours. Now the last thing, and I haven't shown you my screen, so let me go back. And I also want to talk about Apple. So I'll still talk about Apple, and I ask you kindly for my free work to leave me a like and a comment. This is very important because it allows other people to find my intervention. And if they do, then there is demand for what I'm doing and you get more free stuff. If nobody sees my videos on YouTube, then there's no demand, and then I will cease providing you free stuff. So please leave a like, and if you feel like it, then also a comment. It would be appreciated. And now let's still take a look at least Apple, since I have promised it, or at least I have talked about it. So on Apple, it looks quite bullish, since we can consider that we have had a wave 1 top here, and that the third wave was subdividing. As you can see, the internals are quite clear. And then you also did get a like on the S&P, a WVXY for wave 2. And now we could be off to the races for wave 3 up. So this looks quite bullish and confirms the S&P look. And if we go to Tesla, so let me take a look at Tesla now with you. On Tesla, we also can see wave 1, a wave 2, and we could consider this wave 3, wave 4, and up here wave 5. But on Tesla, it is not as perfect as on Apple, and I'll tell you why. The first thing that is a little complexing or a little disturbing is that the wave 1, wave 2, the wave 2 compared to the wave 4 is much bigger. So here we have a tiny wave 4, and here we have a huge wave 4. So actually, it could be that this is only wave 4, and that we still have to accomplish wave 5. So Tesla is less compelling. And if we look at the correction from, as I have labeled it right now, with a wave 5 top here. Excuse me, I have an alarm going off. If you look at the correction from the wave 5 going up, this doesn't look as if it is over. At least it's not as clear as on the as on Apple. And if this was a wave 5 top, then you could retrace up to 700, up to the start of, up to its origin. So Tesla is not as clear, not as nicely looking as Apple. And that's all I want to talk about. I've exceeded my time since I wanted to be much more brief, but I guess it doesn't matter that much. I'll remind you to become a member of my free Telegram group, just to have a second way of communicating with me. And if you have any question and need any of my services, like coaching or my live Elliott Wave updates on Bitcoin, the S&P, and gold, then let me know, and I'll give you the instruction on how to become a member. Thanks for watching, and see you soon. Bye-bye.